Hello everybody, welcome to the TraderMerlin Show. It is your Thursday edition, the day before our symposium series. For those of you who got the email from Online Trading Academy, look forward to seeing you there. I've been up till wee hours in the morning trying to get a presentation together because I figured it'd be weird and just me sitting there talking for 45 minutes on crypto without actually having some visuals. So working on some great presentations. Again, it'll be David Warner, Bashir Chaya, Jeff Manson, Bob Dunn, and Sean Reed, as well as myself, doing a panel discussion on bubbles, and then each of them giving their own takes regarding specific asset classes and bubbles, and then I'll round things out with crypto. So it should be a lot of fun. Pretty excited about that, and hope to see you there. Now that I'm not totally prepared for this, let me get my screen up here today, and I will start by going over this one. I had more people add to this list, so I want to make sure I get everybody up. This is what we have for the June challenge. And Kevin, I got you on there. He said I want to play 30 minutes of guitar. So yesterday I was actually tuning up my bass, broke my string, so I had to study German for 30 minutes, but still doing 100 push-ups a day. Brandon, glad you're exceeding your normal. Love it. Everybody, try to do something good here for the month of June. If you aren't on the list and you'd like to add yourself, let me know what it is. You can email me at TraderMerlin@gmail.com. Even if you're a podcast listener, I'll put your name on the list. Just let me know what it is that you would like to do, and do it every day for the month of June. Hopefully make your life better in some way. All right, the topic for today is really... It was brought up because I'm so freaking frustrated with these fly-by-night geniuses who, bottom line, are nothing more than complete freaking morons, have no idea what they're doing in the financial marketplace. And my Twitter feed and my social media feeds, which I'm not a big fan of social media. I believe that social media is pretty much a way for you to pump whatever your agenda is. My agenda is obviously get more listeners for the show, so I'm using it to pump that agenda. But there are some people out there that all they're doing is pumping stocks like AMC and GameStop. And, you know, they're talking about diamond hands and, oh, it's going to 100, blah, 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 blah. And you gotta step back and say, you guys are idiots. And the common thread from this Wall Street Bets group is that they're sticking it to the man, right? That they're taking it to Wall Street. And the bottom line is, Wall Street will have the last laugh. It's inconceivable for you to think that you're going to break Wall Street with these AMC and GME trades. And I'll walk through some examples. I'll show you some charts. We'll even look at technicals versus fundamentals on this. And there is no argument whatsoever that you should be jumping on these stocks at these levels, other than, oh, the hope and pump and dump, much like Dogecoin and Shiba Coin and some of these other cryptocurrencies. It's pretty much that. So, how to lose all your money trading. Now, I've certainly had my share of significant losses, but one thing that I think I bring to the table that I hope you all appreciate is I worked on a retail trading floor. When I say worked, I was actually trading on that floor. And I saw some stuff that was heartwarming. I also saw some stuff that was gut-wrenching and made me want to just throw up in my hands. It was so bad watching some of this stuff happen. And a lot of it has to do with exactly what's going on with the social media stuff on AMC and GameStop. Now, the funny part is, and I mentioned a gentleman yesterday, we'll leave his name out of it, but he keeps posting nonstop about he's long AMC, he's short AMC, he's long AMC. It's like he's getting whipsawed. I guarantee you if he showed his trade statements, he's losing, because as soon as it rips up, he buys it, and then all of a sudden it rips back down against him and he's losing money. He gets out of it and he goes short. He's on the wrong side and he's just chasing something. Funnier part about it is most of these people who are talking about how great they are and how much money they're making on AMC and GameStop are trading like 100 shares, 50 shares, 10 shares on Robinhood. Oh, you guys are brave. Step it up. Way to come to the play with, $200 worth of shares. You're a big power player sticking it to the man. Goldman's shaking in his boots right now at your measly 100 shares when they're just going to unload 100,000 at a moment's notice. So anyway, I'll stop my soapboxing. First piece here with regards to how to lose all your money. I love that Brendan was actually starting off. He says step number one. Where did it go? Step number one, you had them pretty good. You're almost in line with what I'm going to go into. I don't know where it disappeared. You had step number one and step number two on the screen, and now I can't. Oh, step number one, go all in. Okay, now certainly that's one piece of it. But I think if you're ever going to get caught and lose all your money, generally it's going to be a result of you being caught up in emotions and caught up in a Fomo type of situation. We certainly saw that with a lot of cryptocurrencies, and GameStop and AMC are pretty much the front runners of it right now. Challenge is this. Anytime you chase something that goes parabolic, right, it's going to be brought to your attention, that's when most people end up buying it, is after that big move. So let's take a look at GameStop or AMC, whichever one you guys want. And here you see the big move up. So a lot of people jumped in this thing long. Obviously, it was trading at 12 bucks just 5 or 6 days ago. They jump in early. The problem with most traders is they are caught in the byline that, oh, AMC is going to go to 100, or AMC is going to go to 1,000, or AMC is going to go even higher than that. It's going to the moon. It's going to be the most valuable company on earth. And this is where you just got to shake your head. I wish I could reach through their Twitter feed and just literally slap them across the face and bring some sense of reality. Because if you look at the numbers, AMC is garbage. It's been garbage for years. And I'll show you a monthly chart here in a second so you can see that it's not a great company. Okay, what happens? People get caught in the Fomo. They jump on this thing, and I don't care where you bought it. You bought it at 20, you bought it at 40, 50, 60, it doesn't matter to me. What happens usually is people jump on it, they'll go all in, right? Now, you got to remember when you're in the equity markets, you've got 2 levels of going all in. Actually, let's say 3. If you're in a cash account, let's say I have $10,000, right? I got $10,000 to buy whatever stock I feel. If I have a cash account, the most I can buy is $10,000 worth of shares, and it poses no extra risk to me, meaning it's just the capital that I have present. If you trade intraday and you have over 25,000, you will get 4-to-1 leverage, right? So somebody could be out there trading 4-to-1 leverage. That let's say it's 25,000 now. So if a $25,000 account, they can effectively trade during the day $100,000 worth of shares. So what happens is a lot of newbies and people who don't understand margin and leverage will go, oh, wow, I can keep buying. I thought I only had 25,000. And next thing you know, they're maxed out at 100,000. Now, this has happened to me before. I'll be maxed out on leverage, and all of a sudden the market closes. When that bell rings and it's 4 p.m. and 1 second into the after hours, what do you think happens to that guy's account? It's pretty simple. Remember, if I had 25,000 and I margined 4-to-1, I have $100,000. But in the after-hour session, I can't have 4-to-1. The most they'll give you is 2-to-1. So right away, I'm forced to, I basically get a margin call where I'll be forced to liquidate or put in another 25,000. If that doesn't make sense to anybody, let me know, because it's critical to understand how margin works, okay? If you're not familiar with it, it will destroy your account very quickly because it will force liquidate you if you don't send in the money, the maintenance money, to put that position back to normal. Now, Jerry says liquidated. It depends on the firm. You know, in theory, you have a couple days to get the money there, or they can automatically liquidate your position to come up with the margin necessary. So let's say you went in with, you had 25,000 and you're maxed out to 100. They'll probably sell half your position right away. Some brokerage firms may sell your entire position. Whether it's a win or a loss, they don't care. Now, this, of course, is a pretty negative factor, and I've seen it happen. It's happened to me as well, where I've gone in the after-hour session, and all of a sudden, I needed to send in a bunch of money to cover that margin call. This is one of the reasons that people will lose all their money trading, because now it's out of their hands. It's in their brokerage hands. And when your broker force liquidates you in the after-hours session, do you think you're going to get a good price? We know what happens in the after-hours session. The spreads get massive. All of a sudden, liquidity dries up. Let's see if I can bring up AMC here on, let's say, a 1-minute time frame. And let's go show you the after-hours so you get a sense as to how much liquidity is going on. All right, so there you go. You guys can see it's still trading, right? It's at $49 right now. If you look right here, you'll see right as that bell rings, that was one of the higher spikes of volume right at 1 p.m. Pacific. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then it traded, unfortunately it's up and down, but about 1 million shares. If you look literally the 1 minute later, it traded 300,000 shares. So you drop by 60%. And it just keeps getting thinner and thinner and thinner. When that happens, that means the spreads are also getting extremely wide, and you'll lose money. And of course, the brokerage firm will fill you and then quote you a price that they filled you at later on. And I assure you, it will not be in your favor. It will be in the brokerage firm's favor, not yours. I can guarantee you that. All right, so that's number one thing that people make a mistake on, is not understanding the perils of margin. If you have over 25,000, you get 4-to-1 intraday, 2-to-1 overnight. Very important. Medic says, can a broker do a margin call on a bull call spread? No. I don't believe so. Spreads aren't my area of expertise, but I don't believe so. You've got to find risk on those ones, and as long as you have the capital in your account to cover it, you're fine. This is primarily with the equity side of things that I'm focusing on here. So when you talk about stocks or even ETF, this is one of the more common problems is the margin calls. And I've received many of them. I actually had my account frozen for, I think it was 90 days because the back office administrator didn't tell me I had a margin call, and I did. All right, let's see. What's another one that gets how to lose all your money? As I mentioned at the very beginning, and Brendan also reiterated this one, it's going all in, especially on something that's a meme stock. If you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's an old mantra that has nothing to do with the financial markets. It's just a way of life. And maybe it's gladiator days, who knows? But if you look at the price chart of AMC, you know, you have a security that, if I bring this up to a daily time frame, moved from $12 to over $70 in about a week. Okay, that is extremely dangerous. Yes, guys, you all want to get rich. You all want to get rich. So do I, right? But I don't want to do it taking extreme risks on something like this. There's a big difference. So Brendan says, but Merlin, I thought it was okay to go 100 leverage on Ethereum CFD without stops and $1,000 account. Well, here's the... And I would make the argument, Brendan, this is just my perspective, I would much rather go 100-to-1 leverage on something like Ethereum that has almost infinite possibilities going forward with regards to what can be accomplished. It's the cornerstone of an entire new ecosystem of DeFi. I mean, you're talking about something that has so much potential. And then I'm talking AMC, which is a movie theater that nobody really wants to go to right now, that's going to give you free popcorn if you got a vaccine. Oh, that'll pack people in. What movies are coming out anyway that you want to see? Are they going to redo Titanic so we can all go see Titanic again, or Avatar? Oh, I don't want to go to AMC. So the other part here is being just stupid, right? So a lot of people, especially the Robinhood and Reddit traders, I apologize, I am being condescending on this one because for the most part, if they're jumping on this stuff, you're an idiot. They're not even looking at anything long term. Now, here's the funny part. All of these guys who are jumping on AMC keep saying diamond hands. Diamond hands. For those who don't know what diamond hands is, that basically means I'm never going to sell. I'm going to hold this thing forever. And that could not reek of more moronic behavior than anything. It's so stupid. Why? Because if you say diamond hands, that means I'm in it for the long haul. I believe that in the long haul, this thing's going to make it. You know what I have diamond hands on? Bitcoin. I have diamond hands on Ethereum for the reasons I just said. It's the gateway to a whole new world that will probably be commonplace in a few years. And everybody who is a hater will be like, wow, I'm now using DeFi markets. AMC is not a whole new world. And also the fundamentals don't back it up. Let me show you. Let me show you something. All right, so let's look at the fundamentals for AMC. Let's go to, I think I had it here. Here's GameStop, here's AMC. So just so you guys know, AMC is losing $15 per share. Let me let that sit in. It's losing $15 per share, but these fools want to pay $50 for it right now. This thing it's appallingly bad from an earnings perspective. Not good at all. And then, maybe we'll look at the financials and see how they've been doing. Now, we all know COVID slammed them in 2020, so we'll take everything to the left of 2019 out of the equation. But 2017, their total revenue was $5,079,000,000. Oh, $5,079,000,000. That just doesn't sound right. $5,079,000,000. Okay, the next year they did increase. Right? They went to $5,460,000,000. So they increased by roughly $280 million in their earnings, revenues. And then the next year, they barely went up. So they're not really growing rapidly, right? That wouldn't justify paying a premium. So let's just look at the price of 2017, 18, and 19. Since you can see it really is not growing much at all. What was happening with the share price? To me, this is critical because you want to look at things from long-term perspective. Now, here's the monthly. Now, the range of data that we were talking about was 2017 on. Can you guys see that? 2017 AMC, when it was making $5 billion, was trading at $32. And then it started to fall, and we saw in 2018, it made $5,400,000,000 or something like that. Yeah, $400 million. You're now at $12.90. So it dropped by about 60% when it was making money. And now it's just losing more and more money till the point that it's barely making anything right now. Yet all of a sudden it's trading at a higher price than you have ever seen on GameStop. Right here is your GameStop on AMC. This is the entire history of AMC. So for some moronic reason, people feel the valuation of this company should be higher than it has ever been when they're not even open. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, just the sheer stupidity of people and the gall to tell me that I need to be buying into AMC and have diamond hands is just jaw-dropping. Now, maybe it's better for GameStop, right? You know, I'm not sure which of these two I like least. They're both, to me, not the greatest, but I do believe that AMC will probably be around when GameStop is not. That said, GameStop is at $258 today. Now, this is the monthly time frame. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Here's the entire history of GameStop. Let's go back. I'm going to do every piece of data I can pull up for you on GameStop. Let's go back 90 years. There wasn't even a GameStop back then, just to make sure. This is it, right? GameStop goes all the way back to 2002. Great. So in that period of time, from 2002, the previous all-time high that it had was $63. And you're telling me that a $450 valuation is fair? These are morons. Always look, if you're ever thinking of diamond handing anything, it's about finding the right time to buy. Now, the guy who did Wall Street Bets, what's his name? Deep Frickin' Value or Deep Effin' Value. I won't drop the F-bomb. I can use freaking frack, but I won't use the real word. You know, he's been in this thing since way down here at $9, $10. Okay. I would argue there's definitely some value in it at $9 or $10, but $258 for GameStop, I'd be unloading everything I have. If I wasn't so afraid of it and the volatility, I would be buying puts right now or selling calls at $450 and just calling it a day, because this thing is, as Jerry says, classic pump and dump. But the problem for me, Jerry, isn't that it's just a classic pump and dump. What bothers me is the droves of people who are going to lose every single cent they have. You all know people who have talked to you about how they're buying GameStop or how they're buying AMC, or this clown on social media that keeps telling everybody you got to buy AMC, you got to buy AMC nonstop, and then all of a sudden he's getting whipsawed in and out and most likely losing money. The challenge is making these people wake up and going, this is not the way to make money long term. Could we all get lucky and buy GameStop and hit a home run? Absolutely. I can do that on any stock any time of day. Maybe not to this magnitude that we see on these price charts, because those are some pretty significant moves. But, you know, there's opportunity. And then you have people like Eric here. Got in at 18, sold everything but 6 shares for $220. This is what I'm talking about. That is the right thing to do. Because Eric, I'm pretty sure at a certain point you went, holy crap. This thing's $220? Too good to be true. I'm taking profit. Great. At a minimum, pull every penny that you invested in that thing out so you're cash rich and it's just now house money. Now I got no problem with it, right? My worry is these people who have diamond hands, for example, let's say they bought, let's go to AMC here, because this will be a good one, AMC. Let's say that AMC traders, and there it is right now. We'll put it up on the daily, and I'll bring the chart up for you guys. Here's your daily of it. And let's say that somebody took it home last night at, I'll call it 60 just to make it even numbers, right? They got a $25,000 account. I got to write numbers down here so I can keep my head straight. And they had 4-to-1 margin. So they got $100,000 in their account they could buy with. So they'll buy $100,000 worth of, because they're leveraged and people love to use leverage. So we'll go 100,000 divided by 60. All right, so they could buy 1,666 shares. Boy, if that's not an ominous number, it's a little evil devil number there, right? That's the amount that they could buy of AMC shares. So they buy 1,666, but they don't know anything about margin. So all of a sudden, after hours, they're going to be forced to liquidate. But you see what happens? It already dropped down. By the time that they could get out, it was already down at $58. So they're going to lose $2 per share leveraged on this, guarantee. Or sorry, $2. Yeah, more. It would actually be more than that, but $2 per share on this one, leverage. So that stops them out, and they end up taking a loss on that. Then it sells off even more, which generates a further margin call for today. And next thing you know, it doesn't have to drop that far with leverage to erase all of the money that you put in. That $25,000 can go away very quickly. Sure, Pepe, we all know people who have made a lot of money with AMC, and a lot of people that I know are sitting there holding it right now, thinking that they're going to make even more. This is the problem. I'm a trader, And I think we all have to look at something realistically. And you guys saw me do this with cryptocurrency. When we had Ethereum just went on this move from 2,000 to 45 plus, or 4,500 plus. I liquidated some, right? I actually liquidated all of mine because I went, it's going parabolic. It's going to come back down, which is what happens when anything goes parabolic. Unfortunately, a lot of people who don't understand how trading works and are going to lose all their money trading are the people that are jumping, for the most part, on AMC and these fast-moving stocks. Yes, I'm definitely generalizing when I say that, I'm not insinuating that everybody's going to lose money on AMC, but there are a lot of people who will because they're being fed this belief that AMC is going to 100. They're being fed this belief that GameStop's going to 1,000. No. AMC is losing $15 per share and you're paying $50 for it. Does that not seem right? If AMC is making $15 per share and you're paying $50 for it, it almost seems like too much. But that's a different conversation for a different day. So to me, this is the major reason why you're going to see people lose all your money. And the other part of it is the markets do something rather interesting. And this goes back to a story that happened to me on a trading floor. It's actually, I think Merlin is a trader who invests. Not all the time. Not all the time. Well, Pepe, the only difference here is AMC is a movie theater, and we all know the plight of movie theaters. Not very popular. Not a lot of people going. GME is a sells games at a physical brick and mortar location. Most people are streaming. So if you can just look forward, and again, look 5-10 years, both of those models will struggle. I think GameStop will disappear entirely. I think AMC will always be there, right? Theaters are part of Americana and global culture, but it's not going to be this thriving $1,000 per share stock. The difference in it is, if you say, do you think AMC and crypto is the same, is crypto is an entire new world of financial markets. It's decentralized finance, it's lending, it's exchanges, it's custodial companies, all competing with JP Morgan, these types of firms. So very different on the prospects for those businesses going forward. The two that we just talked about, AMC and GameStop, these are old legacy systems that are constant evolution. It's like putting all your money in Blockbuster. The writing was on the wall for Blockbuster. You just know it unless they reinvented themselves. They tried to do streaming, but Netflix just knocked them out of the water. So, let's see. And there is 20% of the account per trade. Well, some people are risking it all. Okay? Yes. Medics is a lot of people are going to get dunked on. I like that. It's a good one. I think so. I think a lot of people are going to end up getting blown out. And the sad part is, when this happens, we saw an extremely unfortunate event where that young options trader that was trading at Robinhood his statement came out wrong, right? His statement came out wrong, and he thought he owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, ended up killing himself. I fear that certain things like that could happen with this as well. When people get over leveraged, they get caught in the hype, they're all FOMO, they're jumping on emotion, and next thing you know, AMC goes right back to where it should be, which is $2-3, all right? And all of a sudden, all that money is gone. And because they've probably received a margin call and put more money in, they're now leveraging more and more and more, and ultimately you blow your accounts. It's exactly the opposite of what we would teach in anybody's school. We've had a lot of guests from different schools here on this program. At Online Trading Academy, it's one of the cornerstones of what we teach is make sure that you never extend yourself too much with risk, right? It's always about knowing the risk, and people just don't know the risk of AMC, GameStop, or some of the other ones. BlackBerry. Really? BlackBerry coming back. There's somebody got hosed yesterday holding the bag on this one, all excited because, it was in the news. It's another short squeeze. Which brings me to another point. They should make Idiocracy. I believe there was a movie called Idiocracy. They should make that one again, but it should be all about financial markets. Because the other talk track is how they're sticking it to the man. How Wall Street is just suffering because of these Wall Street bets and the retail guys. No, they're not. There's a phrase that we talk about in the financial markets all the time. And it goes like this. Let's say you're looking to buy, pick anything. Let's say Bitcoin, right? Since we talk crypto. If you liked it at 50,000, you're going to love it at 30. Right? Let's talk about GameStop. If you loved it at 40, or if you liked it at 40, you're going to love it at 20. Bottom line is if you're looking to go long, the cheaper you can buy it, the better, right? The same thing works for shorting. So let's look at these Citadel derivatives groups and the tons of other big financial firms that are short these meme stocks. You mean to tell me that these firms like Citadel and many others, they were short at $25. If they liked it at 25, what do you think they're doing at 45? What do you think they're doing at 50 or 60? They're loving it. They'll short more. So while one hedge fund may blow up, 10 more will pop up and more pressure will be shorted on these companies because the writing is on the wall for those companies. They're not going to survive and do very well. So yeah, you can short squeeze these ones all you want, but ultimately the market will dictate what happens in the long run, and these companies will probably go right back down to those lows that they were. I mean, the price charts do not lie. Here's Best Buy. Check out not Best Buy. This is Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't think Bed Bath & Beyond's going away. I think it's probably got more validity and longevity than GameStop would. But, Amazon sells everything that Bed Bath & Beyond does, and I can get it probably cheaper on Amazon delivered. So I'm not going to Bed Bath & Beyond. What was another one? I forget the ticker symbol for BlackBerry. BBY? No, that's Best Buy. I don't remember the ticker symbol for BlackBerry. All right, what else do I got here? I see a bunch of people probably going off on me that are all upset at me because I'm being mean. Let's see. It's the rebel in me and the... Used to be a manager at Blockbuster. Hey, I like Blockbuster. I had no problem with Blockbuster. But, as somebody who evaluates financial markets, and we're all people who evaluate financial markets, if you're looking at anything long term, of course, you would look at, does this business model support going forward? And as the clear change for Blockbuster was that people are going to more streaming, Netflix was already there. Blockbuster tried to compete, couldn't do it, and they disappeared. The same things can happen for every business, right? There's always an evolution, how things are changing and changing and changing. Looking at AMC, I don't think theaters will go away. I do not think AMC is going to disappear. I think that AMC will probably file bankruptcy, or maybe not now, because any of those shareholders internally, if they're holding any internally at the corporate level, they can pay off a lot of debt right now. They should be, right? They should be paying off a lot of. You know who made the most money on this, by the way? I mean, who made $210 million on the AMC move that happened in the last couple of days? It was the CEO. If I'm the CEO, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna be out there influencing people to go out and do short squeezes. Like, hey, my stock's short. I'll give everybody, if you can prove to me, send me a message with your screenshot that you buy 1,000 shares of AMC. I'll give you a lifetime movie pass. Why not incentivize you, and then go out there in social media and just keep telling people this thing's going to 1,000. Thanks, Mario. BB. It used to be RIM, Research in Motion. Here's BlackBerry. Yeah, thanks, Mario. For some reason, I just drew a blank. I got too much going on. This is your monthly of BlackBerry. And, they may be reinventing themselves. They may be doing different things in the marketplace. But, let me look at it. I agree with you, Sue. They should have kept Research in Motion. That sounds cool. BlackBerry, everybody associates BlackBerry with the phone with a ball on it. You could trackball it around. But, do we think that BlackBerry is going to get back to the heydays around 2011 where it was up over 20 or $70? I don't think so. God, we were 140 back in 2008. And a lot of people look at price charts like this and go, yes, it's coming back. It's going to rise from the ashes. No. Somebody else took their place, and it's just a rotation from one company to the next. And our job is to not get caught up in the hype that people put on one company. Look for the other ones that may do better, right? So here you have GameStop's chart again. Well, for me, if I'm looking at that play, I'm probably going to look for the bigger streaming services out there and see who, from the streaming services perspective, might be the next rotation of money. Kind of like GameStop is the Blockbuster of video games. Well, who is the Netflix of video games? That would make it even better. Marcus. Okay, so good point. So, and this again, I hope I'm definitely on a rant, but I'm hoping not taken out of context. Marcus says, so the historical surge on Tesla is purely based on market hype. No, I think a lot of it is market hype, but it's also expectation. All right, if you stacked those two companies I just mentioned, AMC and GameStop on one hand, and look at their prospects for the future, can anybody here, and please be honest, can anybody here tell me that they're excited for those business models of GameStop and AMC going forward? Anybody, please type it in. If you are, no problem. I'd like to know why. But do you look at him and go, man, this is a great investment? If I look at Tesla and the prospects that Tesla has for the future, it's extremely uncertain. I believe it's a bit overvalued, but the prospects for Tesla are phenomenal. They have more AI research than anybody else. I think you could probably take the top firms on AI research collectively, and they don't come anywhere near Tesla. So if Tesla can come to the market with a fully autonomous vehicle, they will dominate. And of course, that's part of the expectation is when you look at TSLA's chart, that there is opportunity here. Now, I don't think Tesla's going to drop all the way back down to this $50 mark, but I do think it's going to continue to slide a little bit here. I think it got way overdone as soon as they announced their 4-to-1 split, right? So, I would much rather own Tesla than GameStop or AMC. Honestly, GameStop or AMC would be one of the lowest things on my list to own, especially now that they have already gone through this crazy short squeeze pump to the upside. So, yeah, it's a good comment there, but I'm definitely not negative, Marcus, on Tesla. I just think it's due for a correction. I mean, I think if you look at the business long term, they have so many amazing products that could just dominate the marketplace. Big Eb says, Ford F-150 Lightning will kill Tesla's Cybertruck. It will to a point. And I kind of agree with you. I think it's more visually appealing to most people. With the Ford F-150 Lightning, you look at it and you go, that's a nice looking truck, right? But it's all electric. With the Tesla Cybertruck, you kind of are in one of two camps. You look at it and you go, dude, that's the coolest thing ever. I'm going to have that. Or you look at it and you go, what designer could possibly want to put their name on that hideous-looking piece of junk that's just a cubic? Even Picasso's Guernica wouldn't fit in there with all those stupid angles. So you fall in one of those two camps, whereas the F-150 is like smooth for everybody out there. Really, to me, it's about who gets first to market. Who gets first to market with it? I do think that the prospects for Tesla are better only because of the amount of AI that Tesla has, and I do believe in probably 5 years, we will have legally fully autonomous driving vehicles that honestly would be just phenomenal. I think we would all agree that having a driverless car, you basically just hop in and inside is like a hot tub or pool table or video games, whatever you want, and you don't even need to have windows, just your own little pod to get you. I'm in. Bring it on. All right, so what do you say? No problem, Marcus. And I love the feedback. No worry. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I just think the whole thing about how to lose all your money trading, to me, it's about not evaluating what you're doing. It's about not understanding the risk. Most importantly, as these Robinhood guys will attest to, it's getting caught up in that FOMO. And now people saying, I've got diamond hands. If you have diamond hands on GameStop or AMC, you're going to lose all your money. I'm telling you. We should mark the date and we'll just keep going forward. Map it out another year. Those are going to be significantly lower than where they are at right now. I can almost guarantee it. Even if AMC got back to its complete full capacity, every theater's full. I mean, their price chart tells you that even when times were good, these guys didn't have the best looking chart. Here's AMC. All right? This is their entire history. Even when times were great, they weren't up at this price level. So, it's just crazy. SLB is Slumberger. I love to call it Slumburger, but people give me a hard time. Like, it's Slumberger, right? Yes, there's SLB. I don't know what we wanted to know about Slumberger. Oh, there we go. Merlin, I'm doing a new strategy based on options volume and stock volume. Thoughts on SLB got long today. I personally would have waited for a break above 40. And it goes back, Brendan, to a lot of the conversations we've had recently, which is this thing is in an aggressive downtrend, right? Really since 2015. Peak in 2014 at over $100. It looks good now, at least for the past few months. This is a monthly chart. If I go to daily, it looks actually, yes, it changes everything. But you are coming into this area of overhead supply right around $40. But all in all, yeah, I think you want to wait for a pull back on SLB. Just because right now you're overextended, but all in all, it looks great. If you go back to what we talked about on the program recently, there's two places that I would have gotten in long on this one. I'm not long on it, but just based off what price charts do, I'm looking for it to make new highs. So right in here, that would have been the first time I would have gotten long right as it broke back above $20. It looked great for a couple days, and then gave it all back. All right, well, then you're in another downtrend, and you're just waiting for that. For me, I'm waiting for it to make higher highs, which happened again as we break above this 20. So looks great. And unfortunately now that train has left the station. How much legs are in SLB, who knows? And not my area of expertise in that one. I made the move based on usual call volume. Yeah, I don't look at that, unfortunately. But right now it's looking real positive. I mean, you got to be careful chasing this one too, Brendan, because it's gone from 31 to 36 in 3 days. This is not historically a very fast-moving stock, right? It's usually not that fast. All right, let's see. What do I got question-wise or comments? Let's see. Tesla appeals to bored BMW driver. Yeah. I actually, when I saw that Lightning truck, I was like, this looks good. Especially when they started, I don't know if you guys saw the commercial for the F-150 Lightning, but they have a plug in the back, it's like an outlet in the bed of the truck that you can plug regular power plugs into. And they had like a table saw, a blender, a microwave, dish. I mean, they had all this stuff running. So basically, you just go out in the middle of nowhere and have your own little private party. I'm loving it. Bring your DJ with you. All right. Big Eb says, all vehicles will be autonomous in 10 years, in my opinion. I think you're right. I think Tesla will probably be the first one to market. And I think we'll really see legislation changes with regards to autonomous vehicles. There was a great video. Gosh, let's see if I can find the link, and maybe I'll post it tomorrow. This video was about, I believe it was the AI designer walking through how their car sees. And it really tied a lot to human vision and how we triangulate with both our eyes and we get depth perception, etc. And he went down this rabbit hole of how the vehicle is seeing things in 3D. It was absolutely fantastic. It really made me feel more comfortable with Tesla, looking at how far ahead the competition they are based off of AI, processing of information, and ultimately when you can process all that information, the safety that comes with it grows exponentially, especially if you have a whole fleet of vehicles that all are trained to look at things the same way. Then our accidents should drop significantly, which means health insurance and car insurance should drop as well because we're not getting injured. Believable Direction says autonomous vehicles will break several businesses. Guessing that short haul airlines, Uber, maybe even yes. Could you imagine if you had a self-driving vehicle? I know we're going down a totally different rabbit hole than how to lose all your money trading, but can you imagine if you had? I live in Southern California, so I'm about 4 hours away from Las Vegas. I don't really like flying, but I'll tell you what, if I had a vehicle, and I'd probably see if I could buy an extended one that could bring 4 people with me, and inside you could fold down those things into beds so you could literally sleep in the car all the way to Vegas or have a little pre-party, but I don't have to worry about driving, traffic, horns, honking, speed, nothing. I just get in that thing and go. I agree with you. I think that could absolutely disrupt transportation. Even San Francisco, I'm from the Bay Area, so that's a 7-hour drive. It sucks to drive that thing for 7 hours, but if I was laying in the back totally sound asleep sawing logs, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Absolutely. First to market. First to market's going to be the one. Okay. What other questions you guys have for me? I know I went down a rabbit hole and I may have sounded a bit mean. I know some people, some people who have made money on AMC and GameStop, and that's great. The key is to keep that money. One of the things that I like to do for a lot of my positions, especially if I get that bug to hold it and not sell, I'll sell what I started with. Get out. So if you started with a $10,000 investment in AMC and you're now up at $50,000, then pull that full $10,000 out of it and you can leave the rest and manage it as you would. But get your original money out so no matter what happens, you're not going to get burned. It would be, it's horrible. And I'm saying this from firsthand experience. It has happened to me. I've seen examples where people have lost their money. Usually it's because they're shorting and going the opposite direction. But I remember back in the late 90s, I want to say it was 99, maybe 2000, Qualcomm was one of the fastest moving stocks that you could find. I mean, it was crazy. There was this one period where it moved up 100 points in a day. And there was this trader sat right by the front glass on the trading floor. And I didn't know him that well, but again, I had access to the trading record so I could kind of see what they were doing. And this guy ended up shorting 1,000 shares of the security, right? And I forget what the amount was, but it had almost moved 100 points before he shorted it. So he shorts it right near the end of the day. He's already down like $20,000. So he shorts another 1,000 shares. Then he takes it home overnight. So he's got 2,000 shares short of a stock that just moved up 100 points intraday, and it was like an $80 stock to begin with. So now it's at 180, right? It was crazy. Then it gaps up 20 points the next day, proceeds to run another 40, and completely wiped him out. He was literally, his account evaporated in just a couple of days. It was nuts. Medic Merlin, thoughts on Meet Kevin for governor of California? No, not going there. Sorry, Medic. I'm not going politics. I don't know. Yeah. If somebody can run this state in a good manner, I'm okay. But I'm not going to politics. I'm shying away from that one. Sorry, Kevin. Merlin, I pulled 800% on leash token, and I'm like 5 days. Great, right? You're taking big risk, Brendan. But see, Brendan knows this. Brendan knows very easily that this thing, this leash token, whatever it is, could drop 90% overnight too. It just depends on if a whale comes out there, unloads this thing, bad press, regulatory issues. That's just the risk that we have with these things. I'm at least with the crypto space, like Shiba coin, I wouldn't touch Shiba coin because that's just a joke. It doesn't serve, it serves zero purpose. There's no use case scenario for Shiba at this point. But some other ones, there's a lot of great programs out there in the crypto space. At least I believe that there's a future for those versus some of these other meme stocks that keep getting pumped. And what's happening, again, it's just really short squeeze. It's people taking it, trying to stick it to the man, if you will. All right, I think I'm done. Let me go to your calendar. Let's see what I have any other ones here. Yeah, I'm with you. Brennan, let's do a road trip. I would love to have a cocktail in my autonomous. I want to sit in the driver's seat in my autonomous vehicle and just cheers cars as we go by. Yep, I can do this. I'm not driving. It happens to blown accounts. Market wizards and Reddit traders are so dull. Well, I do, Jerry, but part of me, it's frustrating because I hate to see people think that they're geniuses. And right now, I'm seeing people they've literally not been trading a year. Right? They maybe started trading when the pandemic started because they didn't have anything else to do. And now all of a sudden, these guys are telling me that I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Dude, I'm killing it. Yeah, on your 7 shares of GameStop. Bravo, right? Try swinging a 420 put option position on the S&P. You tell me how you're feeling at that moment in time. I mean, these guys who are trading so small, it's insignificant. It's like someone saying, yeah, I'm a professional boxer. Actually, good example. It's like Kramer in Seinfeld. I don't know if you guys watch Seinfeld, but there's an episode where Kramer he's like, I'm studying karate. And he's all into karate. And he's talking about the mantras and how he's just dominating his dojo and he's so into it. He's kicking butt. And, Kramer's like, what, 6'4", 6'5"? He's a tall dude. Come to find out that the people in his dojo, they're all like 8 to 12-year-old kids. And he's just beating up on all these little kids. That, to me, is exactly the same scenario. Is you have somebody who thinks they're so great, but they're in an environment where, I mean, come on. Anyway, let's see. Yes, arrogant plebes, yes. Merlin, I have not heard you mention H-bar. Are you familiar with it? Any thoughts? Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Not intimately, but I do understand the whole point of hash graphs and directed acyclic graphs, basically the consensus algorithms that behind it. I like it. It's just a different structure to come into consensus and storing and transferring that data. We won't go into it on this one, but yes, I am a fan of it. It is I don't own any. It's actually in the mock portfolio that I built for cryptos when we did that show, a month or two ago, talking about how to invest $10,000 in crypto, but H-bar was on there. Okay, let me go to economic calendar and I'll wrap things up for today. Here is what we had happen today. Oh, let's see. Oh, apparently I screenshot with my little alert on there. We didn't have anything, in my opinion, that was overly noteworthy today. Tomorrow, this is the 4th right here, you can see we have the unemployment rate and non-farm employment change. Those are pretty big announcements coming out. You also have for Canada, their unemployment rate coming out at the same time. So I'm optimistic that our unemployment rate will stay right around where it's at or maybe even drop, since it seems like the COVID regulations are dropping and people are getting back to normal. It's just really, do people go out there and actually want to get jobs? I know a lot of people who are just like, nope, I'm just going to stay on unemployment. Like, get off your lazy ass and do some work. Canada unemployment is actually expected to go up, sorry, Brendan, to 8.2%. That's your econ for manana. And then here is what we had happen today. I had them out of order. The unemployment claims is probably the only one here. 385,000 unemployment claims for the U.S. You had 400,000 was the expected, so we're actually dropping, which is good. Remember, 250 to 275 is kind of the normal. So we're still way above normal, but numbers look pretty good out there today, even with natural gas storage pretty in line. We did see crude oil inventories drop significantly. That may have been responsible for a little bit of the up move we saw out there today. All right, Jose, good to have you with us, Jose. It's a long-time friend joining. Found me randomly too, so good to see you. What do I think of SafeMoon? I'm not really a fan of SafeMoon. Again, it's one of those ones that I don't believe has a great use case scenario. What happens is people create these cryptocurrencies, and again, I could create one by the end of day today, and maybe that's what we should do. Maybe that's what we should, as an experiment. I could create one, and I'd give everybody 100 million of them. I'll give you 100 million of the TraderMerlin token, but you got to go out there and every day on social media talk about how amazing it is and spread it and give some tokens to other people. And that's what's happening with SafeMoon. That's what's happening with Shiba. That's what's happened. Well, Dogecoin has evolved a bit into something that actually has some viable potential, but you've got all these stupid coins and tokens that have evolved because of social media and people pushing them. Bottom line is, when we take a step back and look at the use case scenario for it, is SafeMoon got a use case scenario? Not really. And what people do when they create the token, they'll make it like 1 quadrillion. That's 1,000 trillions, right? So when you look at the price on it, it's like 0.000000001. And they'll go out there and they'll say, guys, it's going to get to a penny. All we have to do is get to a penny and we're all going to be bajillionaires. Well, if it got to a penny, you'd have like, a $10 trillion market cap. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen for something that has no use case scenario. Oh, I don't know if David Portnoy created it. Oh God, if he did, then that just further. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. David Portnoy has such an amazing following, and I say that sarcastically. He just has massive people following what he does. If he says to buy SafeMoon, it's just like Elon Musk telling you to buy anything else. They have a following of tens of millions of people. People gobble that stuff up right away. So it's easy to create one of these tokens. It's easy to get it promoted. You just look at what the guys with the Shiba coin did. They gave 500 trillion of them to Vitalik Buterin to send it right to his wallet. And luckily, Vitalik didn't unload it all. He gave it to charity. So I don't know. To me, these are shit coins. Pretty much what SafeMoon is, what Shiba is. Is there opportunity? Yes, but you got to understand there's no long-term viability for those projects. With the crypto space, I will tell you, I am looking for long-term viability. All right, as I'm building out my portfolio in the crypto space, I'm making sure that everything in there, I believe through my research, has a future in the space. If not, then I'm just gambling with that. I mean, you can make the argument of gambling with it all anyway. But why are there so many zeros? Because that's how they create them. They create, a Satoshi. Here, I'll show you right now. So people talk all the time about, I can't buy a Bitcoin. I can't afford it. All right, well, let me clear this for you. Here is the minimum unit that you can buy of Bitcoin. See if I can make that even bigger. The minimum unit you can buy is point. That's the percentage of a Bitcoin that you can buy right now, right? 0.0000001 Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin right now, let me just go to Bitcoin, it's trading right now at $38,800, right? So let's go times 38,800. The smallest increment of Bitcoin you can buy is 0.3 of a penny. There you go. Done. Easy. Yes, Jose, let me know. I'd love to come out when Trey gets here. That'll be great. Sooner the better. Oh, good. You know what he's also hawking? And I'm kind of like cheering against this stock? Penn. He is, I saw his feed, and all he does is talk about Penn, on how great this is, and he's like, I'm loaded up. And I've been cheering for this one to drop. I mean, this guy, I don't know how he got so popular, to Portnoy. I guess he's like the shock jock of the financial world, I guess, but I'm really hoping this thing breaks down, because he's been talking about how much he's got of it, and boy, it's not looking good. If we get down below 75 and get a close below it, he's going to be losing even more. No, Portnoy's not a drummer. He's just a lunatic. All right. Cool. Well, guys, that's going to do it for me for today. I realize I got to go. I got meetings all the time now because I'm doing all this crypto stuff. If you have questions, things you want me to see for tomorrow's show, you can email me at TraderMerlin@gmail.com. That's the easiest way. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. I probably turned a lot of people off today by my condescending negativity with regards to AMC and GameStop. But let's be honest, if you want to be someone who does this for a living and ends up doing it as a trader for the rest of your life, you can't be taking too big of risks. And AMC, GameStop, those types of things, that's crazy. Yes, I'd love to make 100% rate of return in a day, but I also don't want to lose my account and be broke by the time I achieve my goals. So be careful out there. Analyze things that you want to get into. I was looking at the AMC, $15 loss per share. I think GameStop is about $3.31 loss per share. If you're buying something long-term because you want diamond hands, find someone who's making money and has prospects for the future. Plug the symposium one last time? Sure, why not? I'm doing a symposium tomorrow. If you're an OTA grad, I still don't know really what I'm going to talk about. So it's going to be really, really kind of... I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to finish it. But this should be fun tomorrow. It's going to be my Jeff Manson, David Warner, Bob Dunn, Bashir Chaya, Sean Reed, and myself talking about all things bubbles. And then ultimately I'll wrap things up with some cryptocurrency pieces, and they're giving away some prizes and all kinds of fun stuff. So it should be a good time. If you are an OTA grad, you've got access, so check out it's a My OTA, I believe, is where you get access to that one. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thanks for dealing with me when I go on my little rants out there. It just frustrates me, having done this, since 98. and really put blood, sweat, and tears into it. Watching people think that they're geniuses because they made some money on AMC or GameStop just blows my mind. Let's see how you guys do in 10 years trading that stuff. That'll do it for me. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.